It's a sound that makes the heart beat faster. It says high adventure and hungry fish are just ahead.
Sky Harbor Superior traffic, Beaver 31357 on the water. In the harbor, going to be making one more turn in the pattern, and then we'll be in the area locally sightseeing. Superior Sky Harbor traffic.
The excitement builds as our pilot works through his pre-flight checklist and prepares to throttle up. John Justad revels in the moment. His job as the proprietor of Lake Country Air Service gives him a bird's eye view of the landscape all season long.
This is a pretty area to look at. And every day it's a little different because of the winds, because of who you've got, the way the light is, what's going on in town. You can fly over the same thing a bunch of times and it doesn't get boring.
John flies sightseeing flights over Duluth in the spring and in the fall. In the summer, he cruises the lake country, where resort owners near Walker, Long Lake, and Hackensack welcome the added attraction for their guests.
It's very much an impulse purchase for most people. I'd say maybe 10% of my rides are scheduled ahead of time. But there are days they know I'm going to be there, so they put out my flyers or breakfast or put them in the cabin or whatever. Sometimes there's hardly anybody on the beach, but one person comes out, then another person comes out, and before you know it, I got a group together, and I'll be busy all day.
As long as he has an excuse to fly, John doesn't really mind. For him, the hardest thing to do is to park his plane for the winter. The last flight of the season is bittersweet and best shared. So last year, a curious and lucky couple vacationing in Duluth got a real present.
It turns out it was their 25th wedding anniversary. I said, well, do you want to go for a plane ride for your anniversary? Oh, you got to be kidding. And I didn't charge him anything. It was just fun. I said, you know, you don't have to twist my arm really to go fly it again. Get in. So we put it in the plane, went out and flew around. That was really fun.
Duluth Sky Harbor Airport at the end of Park Point is John's winter home. It has all the necessary sea base amenities readily at hand, from the slick Teflon ramp angled into the harbor to a warm welcome from Sky Harbor regulars.
You know, in the truest sense, we are a point of entry for international flights and fishermen passing through in and out of Canada, and student pilots pass in out of the country. Just to be able to help people make memories that they'll never forget, and to be able to associate that with general aviation is truly a great thing.
DeHavilland named all their airplanes after different animals. They had the beaver and the chipmunk, the otter, and they called this the Beaver because it was the hard-working day in, day out utility plane, just like the busy, hard-working beaver. Clear!
By design, the DeHavilland Beaver is a workhorse. The company surveyed the needs of bush pilots before it rolled out the first one in 1947. DeHavilland stopped producing them in 1967, but the Beaver remains the most popular float plane operating across Canada and Alaska today.
The Beaver is a very famous airplane. It was used to open up the frontiers of Canada. Bush flyers have had it. The Beavers have been in movies. This one was originally with the United States Army as a liaison aircraft on wheels. It was not floats in its early life. And I've just learned more and more and more over the years about what a tremendous airplane it is. And the more I fly it, the more I can understand why.
There were 1,697 total made. About 900 and some of those went to the Army, and the rest were used by air forces and agricultural operations and DNRs and their equivalents all over the world. Most of them, over 900 of them, are still flying around the world. It's fun to talk with people that know about this plane, that have flown in Beavers in Canada or in Alaska or in the service or something like that. And they go, wow, man, this is really, I haven't seen one in this good a shape.
John is particularly attached to this particular plane because of its tail number.
It all started with a picture in a magazine. I saw the tail number in that tourism magazine, and it was, I noticed N, all American registered planes start with an N for United States. 31357. 1357 is my favorite combination of numbers. 13 I just consider a lucky number for me. And
That's kind of special that it was built in 57 and I was built in 57.
Years later, he ran into the very same plane at a hangar in Duluth. A couple of years after that, he worked out a deal to buy it, and now he gets to fly the Beaver anytime he wants. So no arm twisting is necessary to persuade him to take just one more flight before the end of the season.
It's just a privilege, and to have gotten into it so almost by accident. Seeing this plane in that magazine, years later seeing that plane kind of sitting right where it is here, 2 years later finding out the guy's selling it, putting together a deal that was a long shot to buy it, and then getting my float rating and then saying, what am I going to do? I'm going to do plane rides. It's just been, it's just lucky.
there's a nice view right here, right up the St. Louis River.
People love the Beaver. I mean, people love all of these planes, but there's something about that plane that's a very recognized plane. For people that might not know exactly what kind of aircraft it is, they just see that it's bigger and it's louder and just that much neater of an aircraft, and it really does have more of a draw. So that's another addition to what John's doing.
I really love just doing sightseeing rides. It's a great airplane to fly, and this one's still paying for itself. 52 years on.